For at least one of your life, I believe that you have looked up at the sky and you keep asking yourself the same question. Are we alone in the universe? What makes our world? And what makes our universe? If you and I not a scientist, yeah, can never answer those questions, right? But today, I'm going to show you a book that can help you to figure out that. Are you interested? So let's get started. The book I'm going to show you is not only famous around the world, but the writer, the scientist that wrote this book is also very, very famous all around the world. That is A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. The book was published in 1988, and right after it's published, it has become one of the best 10 non-fiction books of all time. I mean, of all human history. And it's had received all the best comments from every kind of famous newspaper from all around the world, like the New York Times, the Daily Planet, everything. Talking about this book, but not talking about Sir Stephen Hawking, is a misfit. Sir Stephen Hawking, born at 1942 and passed away at 2018. He's a theoretical physicist, a cosmologist, an author, and a mathematician. He's one of mankind's greatest scientists. Sir Stephen Hawking's works and researches on astronomy and cosmography have helped humanity to gain significant knowledge about the universe. He's a very great scientist that I've known. Stephen Hawking is also a great symbol of fighting against fate. Despite of the disease which he suffered in 1963, which caused him to work on the wheelchair for the rest of his life, he didn't give up. Sir Stephen Hawking held the post of Lucasian Professor at Cambridge, the position that was held by the Isaac Newton, the one who invented the law of universal gravitation, which is help humanity to kind of fly into space. And he lived for about 300 years ago. Professor Hawking received a dozen of honorary degrees, and he was regarded as one of the most brilliant theoretical physicists since Einstein. This means Albert Einstein, the one who invented the theory of relativity. His first well-known book, A Brief History of Time, is New York bestseller for 237 weeks. And the book was written by him for the readers who have no prior knowledge of the universe, or just simply the people who are interested in learning something new, which that means you don't need to have any kind of information about the universe and you don't have to be a scientist to read this book. And in his book, he wrote about the structure, the origin, the development, and the eventual fate of the universe, which is the object of studying astronomy and modern physics of all the scientists now. The book was divided into 12 chapters, you can see. To talk about this book, well, I'm only going to show you some kind of a very main thing that he mentioned in his book. The first is the Big Bang Theory. Do you ever ask yourself how our universe come into life? Yeah, well, not even the best scientists know that, but there is a theory. I must imply that the only theory that our universe was created by an explosion, and the scientists call it the Big Bang Theory. And the Big Bang Theory is there's an explosion that is blast in the universe, and all of the dust and the rocks from the explosion in the pressure of the gravity has kind of come up into a round planet, which is called Earth today. Hawking mentioned about the Big Bang Theory, but he also implied that it's only the theory. Theory is something that we have not proven completely yet. This means there's still a lot of mystery in those theory. And in the book, he also mentioned a lot about space, the speed of light, the black hole, and the gravity, which is very well known to all the people. Read this book, you will not only gain significant knowledge about everything's happening around you, but you also know that our space or our Milky Way is just only a very small Milky Way in the entire universe. And there's a lot of theory about kind of the other universe or a mega universe which had a lot of universe inside it. And what is the speed of light? What is the fastest thing that human can create versus the speed of light? And what is the black hole? It's the eventual fate of our universe, being eaten by the black hole. You may scare the black hole, but in the center of our Milky Way has been proven it is a black hole and is eating a small planet very, very slowly. And the eventual fate of the universe is that everything will turn back to the black hole. And talk about the gravity. Gravity is the thing that kind of Isaac Newton has invented, which in the law of universal gravitation that he kind of come up with when an apple dropped into his head. Read this book and you know how can we stand up and everything is keep under the ground but not floating into the space. Well, I mean that there's a lot of things that you can learn from this. Only it contains many useful information, but the book is also a very educative. And there's a quote inside that I am very kind of favorable. It is, intelligence is the ability to adapt to change, which is you know how to change when the time comes. You are an intelligent people. And here is all of the famous saying that he said on the book. How difficult life may seem, there's always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. Or the greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, but is the illusion of knowledge. And the last one is kind of my favorable. Look up at the star, not look down at your feet. Which means that we, our humans, have to look up at the star and keep exploring the universe, but not staying in kind of our Earth and do nothing and wondering, why am I here? Why are we created? Who created us? The book is an explanation of Stephen Hawking about our universe. What created the universe and what created us, human? Stephen Hawking has tried to explain the nature of our universe, from the smallest particle which cannot be seen to the biggest entities, the black hole. And he has made an honorable attempt at bridging the divide between the common knowledge that man knows and what science has come to achieve. For example, we only know that we are a very small planet in the big universe and there's a lot of stars between us. But the scientists have known that they have measured the amount of the universe and that number is too big to be kind of demonstrated by any currency of measuring. And they have calculated that which is the nearest star from us and which is the farthest star from us. And in this book, in its brief history of time and science as we know it today, he have taken us on a journey from time when Aristotle and the world of that era believed that Earth was the center of the universe and was supported by the sun and the moon, until now, when we have proved that they are all wrong. The Earth goes around the sun, and the sun again go around the center of the Milky Way. He have explained that how science knowledge different between time from time to time. The book is highly recommended for its numerous amount of useful knowledge which everyone should have. And do not worry if you don't know anything about science. Hawking had predicted that, and he wrote in non-technical term, which means that it's common knowledge. It's kind of common word that you use every day, so which is very easily to understand. So, to know more about our world and our universe, read this now. Though all the famous that the book have bring back, there's someone who kind of still very not welcome the book, and said about his book. Stephen Hawking have said that my first popular book, A Brief History of Time, aroused a great deal of interest, but many found it difficult to understand. Many here kind of he didn't imply any type of person, but he said that kind of the old-fashioned scientist who does not accept the fact that kind of the history of science, the history of the universe has changed time to time according to our knowledge. So that's the end for my presentation, and thank you for listening.